While sailing here in the waters of Southeast Alaska, there are certain techniques or skills that we use that are unique to this area that we don't use in any other areas that we travel. Due to the fact that Alaska is a land of somewhat extremes, it's either very deep, and wide, or very shallow and narrow. So when we're coming up on, say, a waterfall within a glacial fjord, it may be 600 feet deep and we're just off the face or just off of the waterfall as it's sprinkling on the bow. And there are a lot of times when we come up on wildlife, you want to be very quiet. We try to be very considerate of the wildlife, and you want to come in, take a look at the wildlife, get as close as possible, but yet without disturbing their behavior, because we'd like to leave them as we found them. When whale watching, we spend a lot of time with humpback whales and killer whales. We come up and you need to think like a whale. You come up alongside them at a respectable distance and view them and not change their behavior either. So it takes a light touch, a lot of patience, and it's not something you do in a hurry. There's a lot of ice going up and down the glacial fjord, so it takes a great amount of attention. Luckily, the fjord is deep, so you can maneuver very close to the wall, but the idea is to weave in and out of the ice, but you have to adjust speed, adjust course quite a bit, and then there's a certain point when the ice just gets too thick to keep going, and you have to make a good decision on that to turn around and head back down the fjord.
The moss of the rainforest here is really what allows Southeast Alaska to be wet year-round. A lot of this is sphagnum moss or peat moss, like you'll find in the bogs of England, where you lose those guys in the peat and drag them up years later, and they're perfectly preserved because of the acidity of the soil. It retains massive amounts of water, and so can kind of keep the forest floor moist even when we have dry spells, which we shouldn't. We're in a rainforest, but we've just had 2 days of sun, so there are exceptions. Waiting for a good rainfall to be right.
So I'd like to thank everybody for traveling with Lindblad Expeditions, and I truly hope that they take away with them an appreciation for how beautiful and how pristine Alaska is, and that they feel as strongly as we do the need to preserve this area as it is for future generations. Thank you very much for coming with us, and we hope to see you again sometime soon.
It's been a great week, and I have really enjoyed sharing our exploration of this vast and wild place with you. We've seen some amazing things, great wildlife, beautiful scenery, and I hope you go home with an understanding and a feeling of the importance of wild places in the world, and that you take just a little piece of Southeast Alaska home with you.